So this is the center of the United States Marine logo. I'm really wanting to do like some really nice like shaping. In terms of this, what I envision is the globe to be a little bit thicker than the rest of it, and I want it to be rounded over. Like this concept, this is for a logo that I'm finishing up, but I want it to be a little bit more of like a half like sphere. I'll probably do some cool rotary tool carving action on that. I'm just gonna do the globe today, you guys. I'm going to worry about the rest another time. So I'm gonna get my thickest blade. I use modified geometry blades from Bear Woods. This is the biggest size, I believe it's a 12. So I'm going to use my belt sander here in a second to get like the rough shape and then work on the continents, which I'm really excited about. So I'm finally getting a little bit closer. Obviously it's really rough, and if you're ever going to do anything like this, just be careful that, because I got really close to the edge, see like this belt mark here, because if you do, like I want to get it really close but not quite, because then I'm going to start losing the round circle shape. So this is kind of what I was envisioning. It's obviously not like a globe cut in half, but it's definitely a lot more rounded over. I didn't want it to be like too obnoxious for a 22-inch sign. I am going to smooth it over with my orbital sander. All right, I'm gonna do some hand sanding real quick before doing any shaping, because I want this to be as smooth as possible. Okay, since it isn't flat, I can't really like cut out the continents separately, so we are making do. And this would be perfect for carbon paper, but naturally I do not have that. These are the bud, I have them linked in the description, the bud attachments by Panther. They're sold by Bear Woods. So there are 12 different sizes. I'm just gonna outline. I'm going to switch gears to this attachment. I never really used to use this one until Kendra from Kendra's Got Wood used it, and she uses it for a lot of things, and I was like, oh, I'll try it, and I feel like I've been using it all the time. And what's really nice, so compared to like everything else, the sanding part's on the outside, but with this, the sanding part's on the top, so it's a little bit of a different approach, but I like it. So just to kind of give you guys an idea of what I'm doing, if you guys can't tell. So right here, this I have not done anything on the outside. Here I've started using this, and the reason why I like using this disc, which I probably need to replace it, I've used this disc for a very long time, but it helps me keep the line that I carved the first time sharper, so I'm not, like if I was using something like this mandrel here, it would cut into this and it would make the line really messy. So this way I preserve the line that I originally carved and get a decent amount, and then I can always go through and shave off a little bit more material faster with that, but that way I can kind of stay away from this line. And then eventually, I'll hop off here in a few minutes, but eventually once I get this shaved down just a little bit more, I will very carefully and softly like round over this edge of the continents so that it's not as abrupt and looks a little bit more legit, I guess you could say. And you know, would this be done pretty easily on a CNC? Yeah, probably, but I think handmade is pretty cool. So if you guys have any questions, I'll finish up a little bit more here and then hop off. And I will be back next Saturday. Saturday is my typical time. So I'll try to stick to Saturdays for now. And yeah, so let me know if you have any questions. I'll be on here for a few more minutes. So the attachments I was just using, first was the bud to make the outline, which comes from the set. Then this one to kind of work around it a little bit better. This one takes off a lot more, but since if you're butting right up to it, you're going to mess up the line. So I did that just to kind of help taper the indent out. I'll do it a little bit more out so that it's, you don't see like an obvious divot leading up to the continents. But this one is a mandrel with, I think it's a 1/4 inch, and I have the disc a little bit off of it because I was getting into some like crevices and stuff with florals before, but those are like my most used. I have some other ones here, but I also do have some bits with micro drill bits that I use with the rotary tool for cutting, or like for putting holes in the inners of cuts for the scroll saw, because it's a smaller drill bit than the ones that I can use with my actual hand drill. So that's another really good use for the rotary tool. And yes, I totally agree with you, Mark. The disc, I believe they're just called I need that. They're just called sanding discs, I believe. If you look on the Bearwoods website, I think they're actually linked in the description with the rest of the bits that I have and use. If you are curious. I also have these other bits that I have in here. This one's a stainless steel one that I might use a little bit to kind of like carve and make it a little more flat. And also to get into some of these areas without using it, like it's a little more gradual versus the buds that make a pretty distinct like trench when you use those. So I really do like how it's coming along. Obviously I haven't gotten in some of these tighter areas yet, but not bad. And like I said, I'll look up the US map and get a better outline to kind of continue this here so it doesn't look so like abrupt on the sides. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, feel free to message me on my Instagram. Oh, no problem, Bill. Sometimes I don't show it, but I do always, like, I have that one and my other one on whenever I'm in the shop. And if you guys see me not having it on in between, it's because I'm putting it on and off, but I put it on and then talk outside of it when I'm not. But the dust is obviously really bad, and I know people that have gotten like cancer and stuff from it, so definitely don't want to be one of those people. But I'm gonna hop off for the night. Hope you guys have a good rest of your evening, and I will see you next Saturday.